You know it's bad when your internal clock knows that when you take a soda out of the refrigerator and you put it in the freezer, like 1 degree from freezing, I know when it's ready. My body tells me, get in there, get in there. And I don't know the actual term. It's a blur to me, really, but that internal clock goes off, and I'm like, what? You better hurry. You got like 6 minutes until that thing freezes. Might need to switch to water. Hey, welcome to the Closing Beat, everybody. Happy Tuesday. I thought it was Wednesday for most of the day today. It's a recorded version today. I think airing as a premiere, right? Maybe do that. All right, do it as a premiere there. We're going to cover the stock market. Lots of cool things here today. We're just ahead of schedule, so we're getting it done here today. Also, this Thursday's Wine and Wealth, it's a class that we do for clients every week. This Thursday's Wine and Wealth will probably be the geekiest class I've ever done. I'm literally going to go through an entire trading model from start to finish and explain how to quantify risk down to the penny, how to quantify your returns, what you're shooting for, goals, everything. So just getting a lot of emails that you people are just kind of out there just winging it, throwing trades out there to see what happens. So whether you like to use options, stocks, whatever they may be, we're going to go through that. You're going to need to have a drink ready to go because it's going to be quite possibly the geekiest class I will ever do. And I don't have anything to sell, right? So I'm not like selling a course or anything, but we're going to break this down. And then to add to that, we're about 2 weeks out, maybe, hopefully sooner than that. I'm actually going to do that exact trading model in front of you. So it's actually going to be published. I'll do updates and everything. And so I'm going to actually teach how to do it. Then I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm going to do it on a daily basis, exactly as we discuss, so you can see what happens. And I don't mean this garbage where you say, I made all this money, whatever. I'm going to show you every single position, every dollar amount, the quantity, the balance of the account, success, failure, whatever it may be. We're going to show whatever screen I'm looking at, you will see the entire screen as well. So there will be nothing to hide. Maybe besides the account number. I think you got to hide the account number maybe. But we're not talking paper trading, none of this nonsense. I'm going to show you, right? That's the biggest thing with us. We like to share with clients how things work, how things are supposed to help you grow your dough. And so no holds bar, we're going to start sharing that. And so this Thursday will be the first overview. We'll go over it numerous times, but that's going to be the first overview. Also, I'm told we didn't even publish these towels. We have these towels that we're trying to just kind of get rid of stuff around here. And we didn't even tell people that they were public. You guys are killing it. Poor Cody over there is just shipping towels out left and right. I mean, we're turned into a little shipping company here, but if you want one, you just go on the website. We didn't mean to make it something public. We're not in the habit of selling things. I mean, maybe I guess we should, but you can go check that out there if you want. Hey, let's take a look at the stock market here today. Right-hand side of your page, you can see how things performed. Kind of a snoozer, right? I've said that here a lot lately. We've got earnings coming out. They're coming out as we discuss this here. A lot of action that is coming. So you don't want to miss the rest of the week, really, in terms of the stock market. But there's a lot going on. I'll take a look at the Russell here first. That was your big mover as far as moving back and forth throughout the day here today. It's up 16.5% year to date. Started off strong and then went flat over lunch. Kind of got a little bit at the end of the day and then went flat again. If you're looking inside the Russell, you're going to find a few things here. Novavax, big move today, up 16% on the day. That's going to be earnings related. Crocs also just blasted off. New highs. Crocs, who would have thought? Right, we're out there buying Crocs to go stay at home and wear our slippers all day. They killed it there, so in the Russell, that's helpful. Restoration Hardware, or RH as they prefer to be called now. Look at that move. That's so impressive there. Hits new highs. Doing a little research on this. They've got 68 stores. Main Restoration Hardware stores. 68 stores. They got $100 million in cash. They had $47 million this time last year. So they had plenty of cash. People were spending obscene amounts of money on this furniture here. But we have a little problem, and let me just share with that real quick. If you're a Restoration Hardware investor, take a look at this. Here's the price, just as I was showing on the other screen, off the freaking charts there. Let's take that away for a second. Let's look at their inventories. So if we zoom out here, inventories are going the wrong way. We got a sharp increase in inventories from about $400 million to $540 million. If that continues, that's going to weigh on the price of the stock. So something to keep in mind there if you're looking at Restoration Hardware. And I don't know how you can chase it here at these highs. That's such a tough one there. You've got the Qs, or the Nasdaq here we'll use to take a look today. It was the weakest on the day. It was up about 8.5% year to date. It's weak today because of Tesla. Tesla, your big drag, down 4.5% on the day, responsible for about 1/5 of the losses in the index here today. So that's one of the names. You got JD stands out as something interesting, maybe coming off lows here. That's a stock that we happen to own here, so we hope that happens. You've got Moderna, almost back to new highs. They are killing it there. Vaccine progress. The CDC updated their guidance on wearing masks outside. That's a thing, by the way. I'm not knocking anything, but we didn't know. We were spoiled down here in Florida. I didn't know that you're supposed to wear a mask outside. I don't know. We don't do that down here. So that's interesting to me. That caught my attention earlier in the day. But naturally, that's helping some of those because that'll motivate people to get vaccines and stuff. So in the states where you do wear masks outside, maybe you can now get your vaccine and not wear masks. So I am not going to be the best source of information for that being here in Florida. You got the S&P. So looking at that one, it's up 12% year to date. Today, there you go. Today, the S&P kicking a little bit because of UPS. Awesome. We happen to own that one. That's awesome there. It's an earnings beat. We'll cover that a little bit later. Hits new highs, up 75% over the last year there. FedEx was higher in sympathy. You see that a lot this time the quarter through earnings there. You also had Pulte Homes through earnings breaking to new highs. We'll cover that as well. Caesars, almost to new highs. A great day for that one, up 5%. Got a handful of upgrades. About 120 is the price target there for most of the analysts there. Tesla was the biggest drag on the S&P 500. Also, you had durable good numbers come out yesterday, and I don't often talk about some of these economic numbers there. I don't think most people are excitedly interested in those, but something stood out to me. So if you don't mind, I'll just show you here real quick. If we look at durable good orders, what I'm going to do is break it down by category. I'm just going to go through one category that stuck out here. Here is the non-defense related aircraft sales and parts as well. We've got a nice little uptick here. It pulled back ever so slightly, but that's headed in the right direction. We're positive now. So aircraft orders, non-defense related, definitely trending in the right direction, 9.57 billion. It was down just a little bit from there. If you look at the parts and shipments as well, we're trending kind of flat here, but slowly trending higher, and that number did tick up. This data is not updating for some reason there. Shipping's basically holding steady there. So what does that tell you? Airlines, airline parts suppliers, airline leasing companies, we happen to own a handful of those. It's only going to be helpful to them going forward, and so we'll see how that goes. Hopefully that continues because not looking too bad there. All right, let's go through our sector breakdown here for the day. If you break the sectors down into, let me go back here. If you break the sectors down into the industries in the S&P, so we have the S&P 500, you have 11 sectors of the S&P 500, and then you have 62 industries, which are broken up over those 11 sectors there. 21 of them have less than 1% to get to new 52-week highs. That's pretty good. 49 of them have less than 5% to hit new highs. There are only 13 that stick out to me as kind of interesting here that are more than 5% away from hitting new 52-week highs. I listed them down here below so you can see them. Energy, you might understand, and automobiles, you could probably understand. Remember retail sales numbers? That was good for these guys here, so they're coming off the lows there. But you've got a handful of areas, airlines included, some of the entertainments and the retailers for auto components, as well as retailers over here for clothing and things like that. Some of those stand out as starting to show some recent strength here, so maybe something to take a look at. But I wanted to share with the contrarian investors out there that like to buy your discounts. Energy equipment ranks at the bottom, automobiles, media, and water utilities, not the most exciting area ever, but gives you an idea of something that you can look for there. As far as sectors here today, you're going to notice industrials ranking with one of the better days here today. Over half the day's gains come from UPS, just with that monster move there, 10%. Raytheon earnings, there we go. Raytheon does well with their earnings, up 2.25% there. And also Otis Elevators, we happen to own. It is killing it there, continues to ride higher on yesterday's earnings announcement. We covered that on a closing beat there yesterday. Energy, up 1.2% on the day there, gets a late day rally because of a late day rally in oil. So look at the 5-minute chart here of oil. I'll just go back over here. Out of nowhere here, about 2:30, oil just pops, takes off there. And energy actually, if you use the XLE, energy actually has the same rally at the same time, taking it to the first place spot, right? It makes it the best performing sector of the day. So kind of sticks out there, something maybe to start paying attention to because oil's waking back up. All right, you got financials there almost hitting new highs, up 22% year to date. It is a close second place for the best performing sector throughout the year so far. It was very consistent today. You got a broad-based rally. And I was talking to some friends of mine that happen to run a brokerage firm that really focuses on foreign investors trading in the U.S. markets. And they were saying life is good, man. You got Schwab hitting new highs today. Brokerage firms are doing really well. Why? Because we're all out there trading. The more money that goes into the pot, the more money they make. Not off commissions. No. How do they make money? That's interesting. I think we did a video on that in the past. But nonetheless, you got a broad rally in financials today. I thought that was kind of interesting. Healthcare continues to pull back a little bit today. It was dragged down by Eli Lilly. That was one of the names, down 2.6%. They cut their profit forecast going forward. And then you have Centene. So these guys were down 11% or 7% by the end of the day. These guys are, think of them as the largest Medicaid provider in the U.S. They bought WellCare a while back, and so they're the largest, right? To sort of break it down, just something I remembered. About 1 in 15 people in the U.S. is a customer. In one fashion or another, 1 in 15 people are a customer of this company here. And so that was earnings related as well. And that pulled back ever so slightly to the tune of 7%. Not really much to talk about as far as the stock goes. I wish we could start talking about this on a daily basis. Just very quiet, not much going on there. Let's do new highs and new lows here real quick. But take a look. Just got a handful of them. I noticed Dish hit new highs before reversing course. We talked about that yesterday being extended. You got Mosaic hitting new highs, breaking out of this range here. I don't know, kind of interesting, right? It's a good, tight, solid uptrend. A little volatile lately, but starting to wake back up and maybe get some things going for you. You got Hilton, same pattern. This is where you look, new highs list, you look for breakouts, things like that. Up about 2% on the day. We got people reopening, right? The CDC news and things like that. People getting vaccines, maybe getting back to taking vacations and whatnot. I know I'm ready. Discover Financial, this is just kind of a follow through with some of the upgrades they got in earnings, of course, as well. The idea that people are likely to use them more for loans. That was a Bank of America research post from yesterday. And Gallagher, AJG is the ticker symbol there, hits new highs. I just like the reversal, the day-to-day reversal. Yesterday, solid pullback day and a race just like that. So something that definitely catches the attention there. If we go over to earnings here for the day, we have 80% of stocks beating on earnings so far. I mean, this is getting into the thick of earnings season here. The average move for an earnings stock is now up, or is down 0.6%. So on earnings day, the average stock in the S&P, whether they beat or they lose, most of them are beating, falls 0.6%. That's a lot better than what it was. So that metric is improving there. The average stock is starting to show at least some life of maybe showing a positive earnings announcement. It's not really good when everybody's beating, but the average stock move is still lower. It shows a little bit of profit taking going on there. Just a broad-based kind of analysis. Let's go over here and take a look at some of the earnings in the old news, because there's a handful of things that came out. All right, fun one. Tesla. So Tesla, quite impressive earnings as you look deeper into this here. We covered the details on it yesterday. It's still, in my opinion, quite far from being able to justify today its value based on what you hope happens. I mean, I think obviously they've done well with execution. It should be fine, but it's still hard to justify the price. But let's talk about it. They beat on earnings by 16%. They bring in $233 million in free cash flow. They were expected to have a drawdown of $83 million. So obviously that's awesome. Good to see that. Here's what this includes. $101 million in the sale of Bitcoin or transactions that involve someone buying a Tesla or one of their products using Bitcoin. $101 million. So that explains some of the cash there. They also have $518 million in credits, right? Those regulatory credits. So you wonder why they beat on earnings there. That's a consistent theme. It's not something new that I'm bringing to your attention there, but if you break it down just a little bit further, you can kind of see where these numbers are coming from. One thing that you won't see anywhere else, let's break it down. We're going over to take a look at Tesla, the breakdown of their growth by segment here. Very impressive. Auto production up 76%, deliveries 109%, solar panels, solar batteries, solar products that were actually deployed up 163%. Storage in general that was deployed 71%. Supercharger stations, that growth up 44%. That obviously is good news if you have a Tesla or electric car. Operating margins for them in total, just about 5.7%, which is really not that exciting, but if you're a Tesla investor, you'll take it. It's more than seeing a negative there. So Tesla still sold off on the news there. A couple other things working for them as far as crashes and things that they got to get through. But and I guess Elon Musk is hosting Saturday Night Live? Wow. You think is that I'll actually watch? I don't watch Saturday Night Live. I've never really been into that show, but you think it's awful? You want to go over under on a skit that maybe has to do with aliens?
Oh, definitely.
There's a skit for aliens. All right, I'll take the other side of that. I think there'll be a space one. I don't think there'll be an alien one. Okay, so they at least have to mention or show an alien. Is that what we're gonna do?
Yeah, but are you gonna watch it?
Oh no, I'll catch the recap or something. Well, hey, maybe we can rely on these people. Maybe you guys will tell us. So Cody bets that there'll be a skit that has to do with aliens with Elon Musk in it.
Yeah.
With Elon Musk in it, I bet that they'll talk about space somehow, make something funny about that, but that they won't reference aliens. So let's see. Let's have some fun with it there, because some of the cast members apparently are not too excited about him being there. Lots of tweets and frustrations, and I would only work with this CEO, and he's one of the 1% and all that. I saw some of the articles there. So that, I mean, I'm sure they got to deal with that, though. I mean, you don't always have people you like on the show. They were just pretty vocal about this one. All right, moving on here. NXPI, it's a semiconductor stock. They report earnings. Decent beat, by the way. Gross margins up 54%. Why? There's a global shortage of semiconductors. These guys are all beating here. They guided that their second quarter margins would be up 55% versus 53%, of course, because of the global shortage of chips. That should be no news to anybody there. 44% of their revenue actually comes from supplying automakers. So I worry about that a little bit, because you notice automakers do not making as many cars because of that shortage of chips there. So if they can get that thing fired up and become more of a participant there, maybe something interesting. Good news is 21% of their revenues come from supplying mobile, and so that's not just chips if you look into what these guys do. UPS, obviously, big gainer today, 10.4%, huge beat across the board. They beat on earnings by 11%. They were able to raise prices. Yet another company able to raise prices. Their international shipping prices are up 12% year over year. Average daily shipping volume is up 14% in the first quarter there. They didn't offer any guidance going forward because of the uncertainty, they said. But nonetheless, that's not bad. GE beats slightly, but the stock was also down slightly there. Beats on earnings, full year earnings guidance was the weak spot there, still low, 17% under what Wall Street had expected for them. Free cash flow also a miss. What was the number there? I don't have the number. They did guide lower as well for that. Healthcare and renewables, if you want to break these guys down by segment, healthcare and renewables were the segments that beat for them, and power and aviation still weak, but just like all the airlines have said, they see increased demand there as well. So we'll hope that keeps up for General Electric as they continue their little turnaround. Looking at Sherwin-Williams, basically flat on the day, just like the overall stock market. They beat by 43 cents. Revenue's better than expected, guided in line. People buying paint and stuff. My wife was there twice today, as far as my app told me. I'm not sure what's up with that. Pulte Homes up 4.25% on the day. They missed on earnings there. They're doing a $1 billion share buyback. You factor that into the current price. This price actually has to be higher. So that stock moving a little bit higher as well. And Raytheon. There you go. We talked about that a second ago. Beats by 17 cents. They did lower guidance going forward, but all in all, a lot of contracts coming in military-wise. They're not big, but certainly helpful compared to what it was in the past there. So that is the earnings for the day. Let's talk about some stocks in the news. You like doing podcasts, do you? Spotify down just a little bit on the day. They're going to launch subscriptions for their podcast. So in other words, you could do a podcast and then it could be only available to subscribers that are willing to pay. And it's cheaper than Apple. Apple takes 30% in the first year, 15% in the second year. Spotify says, we'll take 5%, right? Just whatever you get there. So they're really wanting to compete there. Beyond Meats didn't really do a whole lot today, but they're going to launch a meat-free burger meat package. So you'll have your normal meat, you'll have chicken meat or something, and then you'll have Beyond Meat's not meat package. It's $10 for the package. They hope to be competitive with real meat by the year 2024. I don't know. I've never had it. You know, they say 17% of all people consider themselves meat forward. Meat forward. You know what I mean?
I haven't heard that.
That's your buddy in Seattle. That's all he eats?
He eats meat.
Meat forward? Yeah. I don't know. I would try it, but every time I try to go somewhere and they have it, they don't have it. They're out.
Pescatarian, you do that?
What's that?
There's only no red meat or chicken. Only meat.
No, pescatarian? Absolutely not. I could eat a lot of fish now, but meat? No meat?
That's
Chicken?
the meat.
Oh, only fish, meat, and chicken?
No, you don't get chicken. You don't get red meat.
Oh, hell no. What? You gotta have some. We eat chicken every day.
Yeah, but I can be pescatarian.
Oh. Are we talking lobster? Ugh. Okay. Crocs up 15% on the day there. Crocs beats on earnings. They see revenue growth in the 40 to 50% category for the rest of the year. 40 to 50%? You guys buying Crocs and then going back to work? That's a little weird. I don't know. That stuck out to me there or something, but that's Crocs. What else we got? One Main Financial, thought I'd point them out, up 1%. They reported that their charge-offs came in at 4.6 versus 6.4%. That narrative of less and less charge-offs just continues, and it's not one that we would normally focus on, but I wanted to point that out because they are in the same boat. Apple. They have a new iOS update coming out for your phone there that is going to make you opt in to allowing apps to track your data when you're not using the app. So, Facebook, if you're on Facebook, they, of course, want to track what you're looking at and stuff. But when you're not on Facebook, you have given them the right to track the websites you go to, other apps you use, and things like that. This is not good. Facebook was frustrated by that. So now on the new operating system, which is you can, I guess, load today, you actually have to say, I will allow that. Could be a problem there for advertising for old Facebook. JetBlue, here we go. JetBlue in the news, they lose less than expected. They also said they see demand picking up as well. Problem is, they lost less than expected, they still lost, and we've yet to see the demand translate into numbers. We can all see it. You can look at the TAA passenger throughput, and you can see what's going on. You can look up people that are searching for flights, particularly jetblue.com. It's all there for you to look up, but we're not seeing it translate just yet, and so investors not quite ready to get going there. Lastly, we've got today, actually, in 2006, the construction of the Freedom Tower began. Did you know that? You know the Freedom Tower? The Twin Tower replacement. Yeah, back when we all got along, you know what I mean? We celebrated. Get in there and build another tower. And you've got the most recent CDC guidelines there about not wearing masks outside. I'm passing that on to you. They also said their most current updated numbers as of April 25th, that there's been 294 deaths. That's from COVID. That's the best since September 7th. So we're getting better there. We'll see. And lastly, West Virginia. So here's the thing. West Virginia to offer $100 savings bonds to people ages 16 to 35. That's you. If you'll get a vaccination. Would you take a $100 savings bond to get a vaccination from the state of West Virginia if you live there?
That's a good way to get people vaccinated.
You think that's good?
Maybe not for me personally, but that's a good way to encourage people.
It's a good way to encourage people to get the vaccine. Under no way could I find the details of this bond. Yeah, I'd like, what's the yield? What are we getting here? How long is it? What money are we making? I don't know. I need more answers. But I like the idea.
It's a good idea.
I like the idea. Yeah, the bond makes sense. The whole coupon thing that they give you, was it California does the coupon thing? Yeah, I don't really care for that. But hey, there you go. 16 to 35, living in West Virginia. Go get yourself a vaccine and get a $100 bond, and then find out what it's worth when you get it. All right, earnings picks up. We got more and more earnings coming out. We're going to go over them just like we've been doing here. We've been kind of breaking down different earnings segments, trying to help you out with that. We'll keep focusing on that. As I see interesting things, I'll bring them to your attention. But you have to subscribe. If you hit the subscribe button, you'll know when we come back, and you can get the help and information and everything. We're going to get this thing posted, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.